Our music video is a narrative video, therefore we have used typical conventions of narrative music videos to ensure that our audience feel engaged with the storyline and that our video has a real narrative feel to it. Within our video, we have considered Steve Neal's concept of repetition and difference, who noted that genres are instances of repetition and differences, and that difference is absolutely essential to the economy of the genre. One of these typical conventions which could be considered a repetition is an establishing shot, as typically narrative videos will use establishing shots in order to set the scene for their audience. In our video, this can be seen through the crowd of people walking in slow motion at the beginning. This forms the context of the scene by showing the relationship between its important figures and objects. This can also be seen at the beginning of Birdie's own music video to People Help the People, which has an establishing shot of people walking across a bridge in London, foreshadowing the fact that her video will be all about people. In our case, it is clear to see the main concepts of our piece will be on homelessness and people, as a group of people walk past a homeless man sitting on the floor. The reason we decided to put our video in black and white was to ensure that the viewer's focus is on the protagonist rather than any other distracting colours. Also, this effect allows for lighting and composition to become more important and emphasises on emotion. By looking at someone's face or into their eyes, you can provide a stronger emotional connection and relationship to your subject. This effect amplifies how you use negative space and adds depth to the image. This use of black and white effect can be seen in Ed Sheeran's music video for the A-Team, which effectively uses grey images to present the difficulties faced by a homeless teenage girl, similar to our own music video. The camera shots in our video were carefully thought about for the most part, and this is evident in the close-up shots of Georgie and Holly, as well as the high-angle shots looking down at Georgie acting as Alex. The reason we chose to use a lot of close-ups in our video was to ensure that the audience got a real feel and emotional connection with not only our artist but also our actress Alex. Close-up shots are a lot more personal and therefore allow for a personal connection to form from the audience to the video. An example of a close-up shot within another indie artist's music video is in Coldplay's Fix You. The close-up shots of the artist make the audience see and feel his emotions, similar to the shots of Alex and Holly in our own music video. Additionally, we have used high-angle shots of Alex while showing her sleeping on the streets in order to present her as vulnerable. High-angle shots are a typical convention of music videos, and many artists use them in order to create a variety for their audience. The camera shots were particularly used in hope of succeeding all possible emotions from our audience to maximise the possibility of the audience either donating to the charity or purchasing our song. The editing convention of most music videos that we decided to use was intercutting. Intercutting meant that we were able to alternate contrasting scenes. In our case, this was shots of Holly singing intercut with general homelessness, and then also a narrative focusing on Alex. Although these three different types of scenes were never crossed over, we still feel that our use of intercutting was effective, as when considering Holly's shots and the homelessness shots, it allows our audience to witness two completely different contrasting types of lives and see the comparisons between them, making the difference more significant. Intercutting is used in plenty of music videos, and I think this is the main reason why. An example of this is in Sam Smith's music video to Too Good at Goodbyes, which intercuts between the artist lip-syncing and gay couples together, giving the audience a sense of variety within the music video. We decided not to have Holly intercut with the storyline, preventing the risk of Holly being perceived as patronising as it could disturb the narrative. The reason we didn't focus on the narrative is not only because it is a typical convention to include lip-syncing in music videos, but also because we didn't want the audience to get completely distracted by a narrative, and we still wanted them to listen and take in the lyrics of People Help the People. We have also incorporated slow motion and slower cuts within our video to create a photographic feel, in the hope that our audience will have more time to take in the concept and different aspects within the shot. The other reason we have used slower cutting is purely because our song is a slower piece of music. The use of slow motion used within Beyoncé's Drunk in Love similarly portrays a photographic feel and also makes the viewer pay closer attention to Beyoncé, also fitting her slower piece of music. Alongside the many conventions that our video holds, it also challenges many typical stereotypes of an indie music video. In our video, we have challenged social stereotypes by presenting our homeless protagonist as a young female. In 2018, there were 320,000 people homeless in the UK, 75% of whom were male. Evidently, this means that male homelessness is a much bigger problem. However, this doesn't mean that female homelessness isn't. These statistics tell us that in 2018, there were 48,000 homeless females in the UK. That is still 48,000 homeless people, no matter what gender, and therefore we felt that this issue needed to be addressed, as in most videos that we have watched, the person depicted as homeless is almost always male. Another reason for doing this was simply because our artist is female, and therefore most of our audience are too. This meant that we had to try and relate our protagonist to our audience as much as possible, in hopes of getting as big a chance of our audience donating to the charity as possible. We also felt that of all New Hope case studies, this was the most relatable, and therefore, by challenging stereotypes with regards to the gender of our protagonists, we have given homeless females a platform and therefore more help and awareness from the public. Another way in which we have challenged conventions is by linking our music video to a charity. Although there are some songs written for charities, for example, Band-Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas, JLS's Do You Love Me More for Children in Need, and Michael Jackson's Earth Song for famine relief, there are nowhere near as many charitable singles compared to non-charitable ones. The reason behind choosing to support a charity was partly because we wanted to have a unique aspect of our video, as it would give it more publicity, but it would also mean that others have gained something from our video rather than just our artist. Additionally, this charity is very close to our hearts, and therefore we thought, why not include it in our video if we are intending to raise awareness for homeless people anyway? Compared to other music videos, our use of branding had to be unique due to the fact that we have worked with a charity. It has meant that we have two different purposes of our text, symbiotically raising awareness for a charity, as well as creating a music video to promote streaming and selling our song. Through the use of our website, we were able to individualise Holly and create a sense of personal connection between the audience and the artist. This can be seen through the font of her name on the homepage in Snell Roundhand, which appears to be handwritten. To us, this font seemed to have a more feminine touch to it, hopefully relating the artist to our supposed target audience of females. We modelled our website off other similar artists' websites, for example Taylor Swift's, which has a white basic layout similar to Holly's. By using an About page on our website, we aim to allow the target audience to feel as if they have a personal relationship with Holly. We've included a similar About feature on our Digipack in order to further this personalised relationship and hopefully increase the sales of her CDs. However, we understand that in this day and age, due to the digital revolution, there is a decrease in CD purchases, and therefore we have made her album available to download on the website for online streams. The gallery creates a wider impression of Holly for the audience, allowing them to see her from different angles and perspectives. The merchandise, which we have featured on our store, has been specifically designed to create a further platform for Holly's branding and publicity through the advertisement of her signature and also her European and American tour dates. The reason we have incorporated a signature on some of the merchandise was for various reasons. The first being that it is an artist's tradition. The second was that we hoped to make it Holly's own. And also, although our last reasoning wasn't our priority, often signatures will increase the value of a piece. Many artists use merchandise to advertise herself. For example, Ariana Grande's store with merchandise of photos of herself and her album name to increase the sales of her newest album, Thank You Next. We were able to address our second purpose, to raise awareness for homelessness, by including a donation link at the bottom of our store page. However, we were cautious not to give the wrong impression of Holly, using charity for our own publicity by introducing the New Hope charity logo on her website only when necessary. Although New Hope is evidently not our own brand, we had to use aspects of their branding, such as their logo and their language style, throughout the production process of our own video in order to raise an awareness of them as a legitimate charity. For example, on our cardboard cutouts, we had to write the words "people that are homeless" rather than "homeless people," using the charity's language, prioritising the fact that this is a person over the fact that they are homeless. Another way in which we have branded New Hope is by using their logo towards the end of our music video. Our music video is completely in black and white, however, the New Hope logo isn't. Evidently, one reason behind this coloured logo is simply because that is the colour of their logo, and we cannot change that. Another reason is to ensure that our audience understand that although we have worked with New Hope to create our video, we are separate companies and brands, so we don't want our audience to get the wrong impression. Thirdly, the colour of their logo, being blue, has connotations of liberation and stability, which is the impression we intended towards the end of our music video. An example of a music video for a charity is Bridge Over Troubled Water in support of the Grenfell fire, which uses a simplistic branding with white writing on a black screen at the end of their video to raise awareness for the charity, which inspired us to use the New Hope logo at the end of our video and keep it simplistic, also seen on our digipack.